There's just no denying it. Jihaad Campbell is a menace. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, Dingbat here. Another day of practice has come to an end for the Eagles, and to me, one thing is now apparent. It has taken place in every practice so far. Jihaad Campbell is a menace. I mean, he is out there getting number one team reps, and he's blowing things up. He's depleting Dallas Goedert. He's sending Ben Van Zoomeren to the locker room. He is everywhere, and he is going to be a force to be reckoned with the Philadelphia Eagles. That's just the way it is. Now, before we get into it and everything that happened at practice today, we've got to go through the injury report, because to me, this was a day I was really hoping that we would see some guys return to practice. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Zach Berman wrote this: injury update 7/3/7/31. Practice report not practicing. Zach Bond back. All right, we'll get over that. E.J. Jenkins, hamstring. I want him practicing because I like that kid. Terrence Marshall, knee. We'd like to see him practicing. To me, the biggest one on this report, Andrew Makuba, shoulder. Devontae Smith back. Nolan Smith, concussion. Limited at practice, but you wouldn't know that by the way he's practicing. Jihaad Campbell, shoulder. Jalen Carter, shoulder. A.J. Dillon back. Cam Jurgens back. Now, let me say this. Today was the first day that Jalen Carter took part in 11-on-11 drills. So they're working him back into it. But this was a day that people are going to tell you that the defense won again. And for some people that's panicking them, they're thinking, oh my God, why is the offense that has bringing everybody back? Why is it struggling? It's early in camp. A lot of times defenses are ahead of offenses this time of the year. The Eagles also have new offensive coordinator, and you don't know what they're installing, what they're working on. So I think we've got to keep it in perspective. However, it is good that we're seeing certain guys flash, okay? Here's what I think we do know about this defense for certain right now. One, the Eagles' defensive line is going to be good. It's going to be good, okay? You had Jalix Hunt out there producing, getting sacks again today. Jordan Davis finished practice by causing a sack. And by all accounts, Jordan Davis is a guy that's come up in almost every day at practice doing something, okay? We know what we have in Nolan Smith. Uche has looked pretty good for the Eagles as well as a pass rusher. And as we're going to talk about Jihaad Campbell in a minute, he got some reps as an edge rusher, which is really, really good. I think the defensive line is going to be good. I think we know that. I think we know that this linebacking core is pretty deep. Smile Mondan, the linebacker that they drafted, had one of his best days at camp, was making plays. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., he's had a very strong camp so far. I think Trotter Jr.'s camp has been really underappreciated what he's done so far because Jihaad Campbell has flashed so much. Jihaad Campbell was a monster today. It's even getting to the point where people are like, dude, the Eagles are going to have to back him off, okay? He threw Ben Van Zoomeren to the ground. Ben Van Zoomeren got up limping, had to leave. Okay? Here's what Jeff Kerr said about Jihaad Campbell. He says, the Pound Eagles may have to dial it back for Jihaad Campbell. Aggressive every play, even after the play. Good thing, but he needs to be controlled. And, I get it. I get why he would say that. Because, here's a guy that depleted Dallas Goedert, had to help him up after he depleted him. Now, he hit the running backs the other day at practice in the red zone. He laid them out. And then now he's out there and your fullback is hurt, Campbell is he's a force to be reckoned with. And like I said, not only that, but the Eagles are now giving him snaps at edge rusher. Why do I think that's important? Because I think the best way to utilize Jihaad Campbell is, I think you want to use him multiple spots, right? You're going to have him mostly at off-the-ball linebacker. Him and Zach Bond are probably going to be the guys. I don't see how he doesn't start. He's too much of a force already. But, you're going to be used as off-the-ball linebacker. And at times you're going to rotate him in as an edge rusher, which I like. And then you can work Nakobe Dean when he's ready to come back, or Trotter Jr. off of that. Like I said, I think Trotter Jr. is a player, okay? This, to me, is the best linebacking core I think the Eagles had since when they had Jesse Small, Byron Evans, Seth Jr., and William Thomas coming off the bench. He was a rookie at the time. I think it's been that long since it's been this deep at linebacker. Now, I don't know when Nakobe Dean's coming back. I don't think Nakobe Dean, when he comes back, I don't think they're going to trade him or get rid of him like some people are suggesting. I just think that he's going to play this year out, and then we'll see what happens. As far as the secondary goes, I have one concern on the secondary, and that concern to me is the safety spot. And it's more because Mukumba hasn't played, he's not practicing. Hopefully he'll come back soon, start practicing, and we'll be okay. Or Sidney Brown could win the job. But we're going to have to monitor that safety position because I do think there are issues there right now. However, I'm going to give you something, my opinion, my sneaky opinion to what's going on at the cornerback position. I think people are all going, I think they're a little over worried about the cornerback spot with Adoree Jackson and Kelee Ringo. And the reason I think that is because if you listen to what Vic Fangio said about Adoree Jackson in practice, where he basically said that, Tennessee didn't give him an extension, the Giants didn't want to keep him around long, so it's like put up or shut up time in Philly, all right? He also said this. He also said that he didn't really have a say in the Eagles signing Adoree Jackson. It was something that they were going to do, and then they did it. And he didn't really spend much time ever studying Adoree Jackson. Knew he was coming out of college, but didn't really do a whole lot with knowing who he was, okay? Now, if you take it back a year ago, Devin White's situation is almost exactly the same thing. Devin White is signed by Howie. It was a Howie signing. He wanted to bring him in. He decided to bring him in. What did the Eagles do? They started Devin White every practice at starting linebacker. He started every practice. But when week 1 came, all of a sudden, Nakobe Dean was inserted in the lineup. And all summer long, we talked about where's Nakobe Dean, where's Nakobe Dean, why isn't Nakobe Dean getting reps, why is it that he can't get on the field? And the truth was I think they were giving Devin White a big look because Vic wasn't really his guy. He wanted to give him as big of a look as he could, and then he already knew what he had in Nakobe Dean. I actually think this is what's happening with Ringo and with Adoree Jackson. I don't think Adoree Jackson was his guy. I think he's giving him a look early in camp. He knows what he has with Ringo. He likes what he has with Ringo, but he's going to give Adoree Jackson a lot of practices as a starter. But when the time comes and week 1 gets here, Ringo's going to get inserted in that lineup. And I think a lot of us, we're worried too much about it. I think Ringo is fine. Now, maybe I'll be proven wrong. We'll see. But I think Ringo is going to be fine at that cornerback spot. Ringo made a nice play today. They said he ran the route better than the receiver. He should have had an interception. He just dropped it. Well, catch the ball. But you know what? Q dropped a lot of interceptions last year. Nobody's writing him off. Ringo can play. So I got to tell you, I think that Ringo, who didn't start today with the starters, is going through what basically Nakobe Dean went through last year. And I'm predicting right now, Ringo has already won that starting job. They already know. They're just getting as good of a look as they can on Adoree Jackson. And he's going to end up being a backup. That's what I think is happening. Also, there's 2 guys I want to talk about. As far as practice went, they're going to tell you defense won. Hurts threw an interception to Eli Ricks, things like that. But there's two guys I want to talk about, and they're not, probably not going to make the team. Maybe they make the practice squad. Maybe they're on the fringe. But Shinderick Powell, the running back that the Eagles brought in from Central Arkansas, another big day for him. They say he has tremendous speed, elite speed, and he's somebody that I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Okay, but we're hearing very good things about him. The other guy I got to talk about is, and I feel like it wouldn't be fair if I didn't talk about him. We got to talk about Elijah Cooks, because Elijah Cooks goes through every practice making a play, making one big play, at least one every practice. And he's a guy to me that I think we need to keep our eye on him a little bit. People will say, well, Johnny Wilson is more the guy that the Eagles want to go out and they want to keep him, but he ain't having a good camp. And if we're just judging guys on how they're performing in camp, Elijah Cooks has been really good. And, he's 6'4", 215 pounds. It's not like he doesn't have size. Here's a guy that, if he keeps playing good, he might have a chance to make this roster. I know it's probably not likely, but he looks good, man. He's got good size, and he's a guy to keep an eye on. No doubt about it. But basically, when you look at practice today, I just think that it's becoming the Jihaad Campbell stuff. He just flashes every practice. That's all we're hearing about. And I just don't think that you're going to be able to keep him off the field. Jalix Hunt, good day. Jordan Davis, I said earlier, had a good day. We'll go from there. Dallas Goedert on the offense has been good as well. So a lot of good things happening for the Eagles. They do practice again tomorrow. So I will be live for that. Also, we have the Hall of Fame game tonight. So Hall of Fame game is tonight. And if you want, I'll be on my Discord. Link is in the description. I'll be chatting in there during the game if you guys want to come hang out. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. I was saying this in my live stream earlier today. I'm going to say this again because it's on my mind. My dream in this week 1 game versus the Cowboys is for Jordan Davis to destroy. Like blindside hit him so hard he bends the frame, the face mask of Dak Prescott. Like, send him into next week. I want him to crush him. Why? Because Mark Holmes, all he did before the draft, where Jordan Davis was drafted, was cry and talk about how Dallas had to go out and get this guy, Jordan Davis. He was going to be unbelievable. He is this great guy. As soon as he gets to the Eagles, he stinks. He's lazy. He's never done anything, despite even never having a snap. Now that Jordan Davis is good and Mozzie Smith is better, now that Jordan Davis is in great shape and ready to go, I hope he destroys Dak Prescott. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.